Ay, 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 estamos en México, tierra del sol. Viva, viva Mexico. Actually, no, we're still on the United States side of the border in San Isidro, with right next to Tijuana, at the busiest border crossing in the world. And when you are close to the border, what you see are the Casas de Cambio, the little houses of money exchange. The money exchange houses. The house of change is what it literally translates to. And what are these people doing? How are they making their livelihood? Well, they make their livelihood by buying and selling pesos and dollars to people who go back and forth across the border and need to have, exchange their money back and forth. And they are, for the most part, dealers. They are, for the most part, market makers. Some also are brokers, as we shall see. And so what we're looking at is a amalgamation of a few different stores, a few different Casas de Cambio that are very close to one another. They're on San Isidro Boulevard, right off one of the last exits from 805 and 5. Via de San Isidro Boulevard. And what you see are two numbers. You see, we hear about the exchange rate with the peso and the dollar, and we hear about the price of a certain security, a stock or a bond. But in reality, that's just the best price available. There are always many prices at any one time, as people in the industry are competing to buy and sell the securities. And so these people are market makers. They're dealers. Notice they say no commission, no commission. We don't charge a commission. We're not brokers. We're dealers. We're market makers. And how do they make money? Well, they make money off the spread. You see, there are two numbers here, not just one. And what's this number, the one in the bottom? Well, that's the one that if you give them $1, they're going to give you 18.310 pesos. But what if you want to buy dollars? Well, then you're going to have to give them 18.398 pesos. You see the difference? And the spread, that's what it's called, the difference between the ask price, the retail price, and the bid price, the wholesale price. And I know it's difficult to remember bid and ask, but remember ask. If you have to ask for it, exactly, it's more expensive. And when you do your stock markets assignment, as long as the market is open, you're going to see those bid and ask prices, and they're tiny. They're a penny, 2 pennies now. It used to be the spreads would be 50 cents or sometimes 25 cents or 12.5 cents. Well, that's because they used to be done in eighths. Forget it. It's a long time ago. But now, due to technology and the sheer volume of trading and competition, the spreads are tiny for bigger, large companies. For smaller companies and those penny stocks that we'll discuss, sometimes the spreads are huge, and we're going to see that play out here. So all these companies are fairly close to one another, right? The spreads are fairly small, not as small as they could be. This one's the best spread right here, right? These two right here, the difference. And you could conceivably simply just move your money back and forth all day long and then wind up with nothing. So let's go down the street on San Isidro Boulevard to one of the most popular money exchange houses. And these people, not always, but they almost always have the best price. So what we're looking at here is that they will give us 18.319 pesos for every dollar we give them. Or they'll ask us for 18.390 pesos to buy dollars. And often this place is very popular. There's often a line out the door. And it's my favorite place, certainly, to change my pesos and dollars. Okay? Now, notice, no commission. Yeah, we're not brokers. We are dealers. We are market makers. And now, here's a place on the other side of the freeway on San Isidro Boulevard that, again, is a dealer. They make money off the spread. But you'll notice that there's no commission, or I think maybe they do no commission on one way and not the other commission on another. But what they're doing is they're charging you a commission on top of the dealer spread, the dealer markup and markdown. And this is what's going on, folks. This is what's going on when you go through companies like Scottrade. Now, I don't know, as I said in the presentation, I'm not sure if they're still doing this, but they were. And they're not the only one. And that one company, Robinhood, that is now offering free trades, they said, at least in my communication with them, I sent them a few emails they sent me back, that they did not make money this way. But I don't believe them. I don't think the guy I was talking to, or gal, I'm not sure who it was, I don't think they understood my question. She kept sending me back saying, no, there's no charge whatsoever. I said, that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, how do you make money? Because you got to make money to keep the lights on and pay the rent and people's salary, right? I mean, a business has to make money. And I don't think they understood my question. So what they did is they said, oh, no, we don't do that. We make money off of the interest that we get from people holding cash in the account. Well, that is nothing. You're not getting anything off of short-term interest now, from short-term interest rates. So that can't be the way they're making money. And they say eventually when they have margin accounts, they will make money by charging interest. And that's how brokers do make money off of that, by lending money to their clients so they can buy securities on the margin. That's called margining. We'll learn about that. Don't do it. So here you are. Here's somebody who is not only a dealer, a market maker, but is also a broker. Now we're in Tijuana. Okay, now we're finally in Tijuana. And what you'll notice, not always, but almost always, the numbers drop. I don't know why. It's just the numbers are different. And there's a little bit of arbitrage you could pull off here. Well, not really. I mean, you can. Look, here they are. They want 18.099 pesos for every dollar they'll give you. And they'll give you 18.005 pesos for a dollar. So now wait a minute. Do you remember on the best one in the United States in San Isidro it was 18.319? So I could sell my dollars, get 18.319 pesos, run across the border, and for 18.099 pesos buy a dollar. That's called arbitrage. That's finding a price and a differential that allows you to buy in one location and sell in another location, or vice versa. And oh, wouldn't you love to be able to do that? Well, you can. If you bought $1,000 worth of pesos, that would give you 18,319 pesos. Run across the border. And then run over to one of these places. The best one is asking for 18.099. And you will make a grand total of $12.16. Right, exactly. which then you have to sit in line getting back across the border. Unless you have a Sentry Pass. And then you don't have to sit in line very long. But it's not practical. Plus, if you can, every time you do that, every time you sell, I forget what the number is, but it's over a certain amount of money, they record that transaction. They want to know, they want to see your ID, and so you really can't do it. I mean, eventually you're going to get the FBI or somebody else looking at you, thinking that you're some kind of terrorist or money laundering drug dealer or whatever. So it's not practical. But in the electronic world, yes, it is. If you're a high-frequency trader making money off of these tiny differential spreads is what you live for. And this is why the Securities and Exchange Commission is looking into the problem, and this is why the one company that we talked about in the presentation, IEX, is trying to stop this arbitrage by creating that speed bump. So the high-frequency traders can't sneak in front of you, buy it somewhere else, raise the price, and sell it back to you. It's an arms race, isn't it? Notice these places also, no commission, no commission, no commission. This place will buy and sell euros. And oh boy, look at that spread. Huge. You see, you give them a euro, they'll give you 15 pesos. Now, wait a minute. The euro is a little bit more than $1. This is September 2016. And they're going to give you 15 pesos for your euro? You'd be better off changing your pesos into dollars and then changing your dollars into pesos. And they want 20 pesos to give you a euro. So that's a huge spread. And this is what happens in the penny stock world, dear students. This huge spread is what you will see in those worlds, where they sell it to you for 7 cents, they'll buy it back for you for 3 cents, which doesn't sound like a big difference, but that's a almost 50% difference, right? Now, let's take a look at another couple of places in Tijuana that are not as reputable. And these two places, this is the same one right here. This is a far away and this is close up. Notice this one, the spreads look about right as everybody else, but no, cobramos comisión. We charge you a commission. So we are acting as brokers as well as market makers. And this place is also buying and selling euros, again, which that huge spread, and they probably throw a commission on top of that. This place has been around forever, folks, and it's on that walkway that takes you downtown that is now not even used that much because the new pedestrian crossing has come into play, and so they bypass this place. So I'm not sure if they're going to stay in business forever. But obviously, do you want this to happen? Do you want not only to get charged the markup and mark down, the dealer market maker spread, you also get charged a commission? Well, that's what's going on with some of the brokerage firms, the deep discount brokerage firms. Now, here's another example, and this is even worse. This is a money exchange place down by the notorious Zona Norte in Tijuana, where all those very pretty young women are all standing outside offering private lessons in Spanish to American and Mexican men up in the hotel. What? They're not offering Spanish speaking? Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, they get paid often in dollars, and they get screwed by this company right here. Because notice they will give them not 17.845 or 17.9 or even 18, some of the places in Tijuana. They'll give them 17.089. See, I think they're trying to confuse them to make them think that they're getting almost 18. The spread here is 18.24. They'll take your 18.24 pesos and give you dollars. But see, I think they're really just screw. I don't want to use that word. They're really slamming the people in this area right here. But they're not alone, folks. When you're a tourist down in Puerto Vallarta or Zihuatanejo or Cancun or Cabo, you will see these large spreads, which is why it makes more sense for you to change your money here in San Isidro than bring it down there, or use an ATM machine. But the problem with that is the fees, the ATM fees can be enormous. I'm very lucky. I have an account at a Bank Comer, which is Mexico's biggest bank. And as long as you keep 4,000 pesos, which is about a little over $200, in the account, they don't charge you any monthly fee. And I run down to get my money out when I go when my wife and I I go down to Mexico for a vacation. I take the cash out, run down to San Isidro, exchange it. They ask for your identification if it's more than I guess it's 500. I don't know what the number is. Run across the border very quickly, deposit it into Bancomer, and in every pueblito, every small little village in Mexico has a Bancomer ATM. But I was down in San Zihuatanejo this summer, and I met some people from Oregon, and they said they were charged $9, essentially $9 at the HSBC Bank ATM to take money out. Yeah, there's the commission. They're brokers, we're going to make you broke. But when you do use your ATM machine to exchange dollars to pesos, you get a very good. My understanding, I don't do it. I do it here. Get a very good rate of exchange. Okay, making sense? Making sense? So, go down to Mexico, change some dollars into pesos, some pesos back into dollars, and know that this is what's going on in the world of high finance. But it's all electronic, and it's happening millions of times per second. See ya!